I asked you guys what your best MMORPG to play in 2022 is, and you, the players, have spoken. Hey G Nation, I'm Ben, and today on Android GameSpot, the 10 best mobile MMOs voted by you. Chapters and download links are down in the box below, and without any further ado, let's do this! In 10th place with 16 votes is World of Kings, and this game is as close as it gets to a World of Warcraft MMO on mobile. The fantasy game has all the MMO features you can expect, from character customization to 5-player dungeons, a huge collection of mounts and pets, and guild battles that support up to 100 players. World of Kings has fast-paced action combat and of course, real-time PvP. Visually speaking, you gotta give it to the developers as they did an impressive job with the graphics, so to sum it up, if you're in the market for a World of Warcraft experience and don't really like grinding in MMORPGs, this game is a solid choice. It has autoplay, so you can focus on the good content like dungeons and raids. MapleStory Mobile lands in 9th place with just one extra vote, and this is for the lovers of 2D MMORPGs. There aren't that many on mobile as most developers focus on 3D and realism, but here you have cute looking visuals, a 2D open world map, and plenty of nostalgia if you played the original game on PC. MapleStory M is in fact a sequel, and so you have new explorers, which are the characters you get to play with, along with new guild systems and raids. As for the classes, you can choose from Dark Knight, Bowmaster, Night Lord, Bishop, and Corsair, or try one of the new ones, which are Shadower, Hero, and Archmage. MapleStory M has a lot of charm, and its cute characters and colorful pixel visuals will suck you in to discover all what the game has to offer. 21 votes put Eve Echoes in 8th place, and this is not your average mobile MMO by any means. Eve Echoes is actually one of the most challenging MMO games that you can play on your phone. Gameplay wise, the game borrows heavily from its predecessor EVE Online, and the same goes for social interactions. In other words, everything is allowed. You'll be able to engage in massive wars that supports thousands of players in real time. You can also explore the world, forge alliances, trick one another, and much more. Personally speaking, I found the player base not super friendly, but if you want to jump into a space sandbox MMO on mobile, you can't do better than Eve Echoes. In 7th place with 29 votes is Sword Art Online Integral Factor, and I'm gonna quote myself here cause why not? There are many SAO games on mobile and I've tried them all as I'm a big fan of the anime, and shout out if you are as well, but none of the other games are as good as this one, which lets you make your own character and take on the world of Sword Art with a mix of classic RPG elements and multiplayer features. Ironically, the story takes place in 2022 as a brilliant scientist has developed the first full dive VR MMORPG. The only catch is you can't log out before you clear the game, and game over means death in the real world. The character creation is decent, and so are the graphics and combat. Plus, the game has both auto and manual gameplay with plenty of PvP, PvE, and guild quests to take on. Toram Online is our number 6 with 33 votes, and this MMO is a well-beloved game among the fans and from the Azobimo team in Japan. Toram Online features some Monster Hunter style action with some decent anime style graphics and a lot of freedom in customizing your looks, skills, and so on. I also want to mention that Toram Online has no class system, and one of the best features of the game is how you can freely distribute the stat points for your character so you can focus on the attributes that matter the most to you. Add to everything said an engaging story and a nice soundtrack, making this a pretty good alternative to the now gone Rangers of Oblivion. 37 votes lands Old School RuneScape in 5th place, and the game, as the name suggests, is one of the biggest, longest lasting MMOs, and in 2021 it came to the biggest platform in the world. So the big question is, does it actually work on mobile? And the answer is absolutely. Yes, the game shows its age with a bit of an outdated UI and not the sleekest graphics on the block, and the controls aren't perfect if you're playing on a smaller screens, but none of this is to say that you shouldn't play Old School RuneScape. On the contrary, I recommend it to all MMO fans, and that's because the game is just a ton of fun and has loads of content to keep you busy for a while, from the main and side quests to the mini games like the Nightmare Zone or the Barrows. In number 4 with 46 votes is Albion Online, which is a bit like a streamlined RuneScape, with a player-driven economy and combat skills that are tied to the weapon and armor you use rather than your class. Visually, Albion Online doesn't have the graphical power that some other MMOs on mobile may have, but the game's graphics are quite unique and pleasant to the eye. As for the game's multiplayer experience, Albion used to be extremely focused on PvP, which was awesome for PvP fans but not so much for PvE players. Thankfully, things are now much more balanced ever since the Rise of Avalon update, which not only brought in the much needed balancing but also made PvP more accessible to new players. Crafting and gathering are also key aspects of the game, and just in case you're wondering, Albion Online is not pay to win. In third place with 50 votes and one of my favorite MMORPGs on mobile, I'm talking of course about Adventure Quest 3D. It has various classes, a massive world, and decent gameplay and progression mechanics. And unlike most MMOs, Adventure Quest 3D doesn't limit you to one class, so you can choose and switch between classes on the go, and I love that. Another great feature here is just how easy it is to set up a party. The game is also ideal to play while you're out and about, as it was designed to be playable in short sessions. All in all, Adventure Quest 3D has a lot to offer, and while it may not look as sleek as some other games on this list, it more than makes up for it with plenty of solid features and tons of fun. Try it out if you haven't yet. Number 2 with 139 votes, Dragon Raja. When Dragon Raja was released, it sets up new standards for MMOs on mobile with its graphical performance, and even 2 years or so after its global release, it is still one of the most gorgeous games on mobile to date. And beyond the graphics, there is a JRPG-like story here that is genuinely engaging and a ton of content to keep you hooked on a daily basis. We're talking daily quizzes, dungeons, raids, exploration events, and the list goes on. The combat is nothing new, but it works and the skills are flashy, although the autoplay and the pay-to-win model of the game have turned off many. To me personally, the game is a mix of plenty of good ideas that are handicapped with monetary greedy practices. What about you? How was your experience with Dragon Raja? Number 1 and the game you voted for the most with 198 votes, Black Desert Mobile. It's hard to find a best MMORPG list without Black Desert Mobile, and that's because the game brings everything players liked from the core PC version, packs it onto mobile, and it plays like an absolute treat. The visuals look pretty good, there are 13 classes to choose from, deep customization system, and the combat is solid and fast-paced. Activities like fishing are a nice change of pace when you're not slaying monsters, and there are of course plenty of mounts and pets to explore the game with. Also, the player base for this game is huge, which is a must quality for any MMO that wants to go the long mile. Easily one of the best MMOs you can play on mobile in my opinion, and in yours as well. And that sums up the 10 best mobile MMOs voted by you. And now I want to hear from you in the comments. Do you agree with the votes? And did your favorite MMO make the list? Of course, as always, if you enjoyed this video, clicking the like button does help me out a lot, and I would really appreciate that. And if you're new, consider subscribing because I put out new videos like this every week. Also, special thanks to my YouTube members, and link down below if you want to support my content and enjoy some cool rewards. Once again, I'm Ben, thank you AG Nation for watching, and I'll see you next time, right here on Android GameSpot. Stay epic!